So hello everyone, once again from the capitalist dystopia of the United Kingdom. And speaking of dystopias, we are talking about social medias owned by billionaires. Now, I never thought I would make so many videos on Elon Musk, but he constantly surprises me in new ways. All of them bad. Because recently he's tweeting out Tucker Carlson interviews with Andrew Tate talking about how much they make sense, right? Because as we've seen Elon Musk spiral down the far right rabbit hole, you didn't really think he could get any lower than promoting someone like Andrew Tate, but it's not surprising. But also, he's losing it a bit because Meta and Instagram launched their basically own Twitter. And I've been using it over the last week. I think it's been out for a week now. And, I like it enough. It feels more positive. It's way more like corporate friendly. I'll say that. Like so many brands I'm seeing, they really just need to make it just like Twitter, maybe with some better features. But at the moment, you can only view like a timeline of recommended, no chronological order or anything like that. But at the same time, it's still preferable to the hell site that is Twitter right now. Like, I actually can't believe how bad it's getting. I'm looking at people posting Twitter polls about if Jews run the world, and most people who vote on these polls are saying yes. And these all come from verified accounts as well, right? I made a whole video like 3 months ago, maybe even longer, about how Twitter was becoming Parler, Gab, 4chan, and it's only getting worse at this point. Like, I don't want Zuckerberg to run all my social media. But at this point, if I had to choose between, Meta and Instagram's threads or choose Twitter, I guess I'm going to choose Zuckerberg's one because Elon Musk is basically just completely pandering to fascists at this point, and that's all Twitter is good for. Every verified account is basically this meme I posted on Twitter the other day. So I guess what this is just like a roundup of what's been going on with Elon Musk recently, actually taking legal action against Meta and Instagram for allegedly copying Twitter, and of course we're going to talk about all the far-right garbage that has been going on recently that is emblematic of Elon Musk's Twitter. And I have to say, reading the Threads timeline of the Instagram CEO and comparing it to Elon Musk is actually like crazy. And if you're the CEO of a social media company, I actually would rather not read your unhinged political views all the time and see how that directly affects a platform which we are all using and we kind of all have to engage in if you like politics and want to engage in the conversation or just stay up to date, because I've always used Twitter for that, but now it just feels like I'm using it to just document the downfall. And it's just crazy because I feel at this point it's just going so far down the far right rabbit hole. I just don't see it ever coming back now. Like, even if Elon Musk sells it, the whole business model is going to be around just these fascists paying for verified accounts and subscriptions and stuff. So I'm going to talk about all of that today, but before we go any further, please like the video and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like Instagram's new Twitter clone? Also, speaking of social media, I am on like every social media. I'm on Twitter, of course, at the Kavernacle. Same on Instagram. Like I said, I'm on Threads now as well. Also on Blue Sky, I'm just covering all the bases. I'm seeing what the new Twitter is going to be. And also, if you like my content, consider becoming a patron. I'm trying to build up as many $1 to $3 patrons as possible. Benefits include access to the Discord server, access to my Nintendo Switch friend code, and access to some exclusive content I've posted in the past. Also, check out the subreddit and check out my second channel, the links to everything down in the description. So obviously, we all know what a fragile man baby Elon Musk is, how he needs constant attention. I believe that's what started his far-right spiral. He just wanted to be liked. He just wanted people all looking at him for doing stupid stuff. But now I genuinely believe he's gone so far down that rabbit hole, he is genuinely a fascist at this point. You cannot look at his Twitter timeline and everything he writes and believe that none of it is genuine and all of it is grifting at this point. And in that, of course, he got very mad about Instagram launching Threads. He hated all the attention Instagram was getting, Mark Zuckerberg. And of course, in the past, challenging Zuckerberg to a cage fight. But just to start this off, Twitter threatens Threads lawsuit against Meta. So Twitter has threatened to sue Meta in a letter sent to Facebook's parent CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, by Twitter's lawyer, Spiro. In his letter, accused Meta of hiring former Twitter employees who had continued to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information. Twitter intends to strictly enforce its intellectual property rights and demands that Meta takes immediate steps to stop using any Twitter trade secrets or other highly confidential information. But Meta spokesperson Andy Stone said no one on the Threads engineering team is a former Twitter employee. That's just not a thing. A former senior Twitter employee told Reuters that they were not aware of any former staffers working on Threads, nor any senior personnel who landed at Meta at all. And Elon Musk tweeted, "Competition is fine, cheating is not." So basically it feels like Elon Musk is just trying to paint this narrative. If Threads is successful, it's just basically because it stole a bunch of trade secrets from Twitter employees who went over there after Elon Musk fired them, right? But like everyone's saying, it doesn't seem like there's much evidence of that. So yeah, he's just like covering the bases so he can play victim. But if we go on to Twitter itself, Elon Musk has been coping over the last couple weeks about why Twitter is so much better. I mean, yeah, if you are a fascist, it probably is a better place to be on, since you can pay to have your tweets amplified. But Elon Musk tweeting, "You are free to be your true self here. You will get more laughs from this app than everything else combined. But I have to warn you, don't be shocked. There's some negative stuff too." I mean, I do find social media funny, but nearly everything on Twitter is negative these days. Like, everything I see is basically depressing as hell. Depressing what Elon Musk has turned Twitter into within, like, I don't know, 8 months. Obviously responding to a bunch of tweets talking about how, like, you know, Meta is failing. Replying to memes by Doge designer. And then, of course, this one by Data Hazard saying, "Elon protects free speech, Zuck protects brand speech." And to be fair, this is true. So much brand stuff is just fed to you on Threads at the moment. But then Elon Musk, you know, the CEO of Twitter, Zuck is a cuck. I propose a literal dick measuring contest. Isn't Elon Musk like 53 years old, richest man on earth, making stupid jokes like Zuck is a cuck and let's have a dick measuring contest? I know he's probably joking. It wouldn't even surprise me if he's being serious though, because he just knows his sycophants will start saying stuff about it. Like, it is just genuinely so embarrassing. And it, you know, stuff like this just completely disproves meritocracy. Yeah, Zuckerberg is evil. Zuckerberg is embarrassing. So is Jeff Bezos. But at least they don't let the world know how much they are just like immature children, obviously looking for some sort of validation because, like, Elon Musk's own father hated him, so he's looking for it on Twitter, and that's literally why he bought this app in the first place. Again, this whole world is depressing that a bunch of Elon Musks have destroyed the planet for profit. And then the benefit is people like Elon Musk are probably going to escape on their lovely prioritized rocket. So more cope. So someone's saying, Mark Zuckerberg making everyone forget he wasted 12 billion on the metaverse last year. I mean, a bit less than the 44 billion Elon Musk wasted on Twitter. Then someone else saying, "Oh, at Facebook is still a misinformation spreading machine. Elon Musk, censorship pays them well." The notion that Facebook and Meta are the only sources of misinformation, when Elon Musk's Twitter is literally the biggest hive of misinformation on the internet, promoted by him, by the way. We're going to get into that a bit later. He's done this multiple times. He's promoted so many conspiracy theories which have no basis in reality. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't generally do that, right? But not only is Facebook trash for stuff like that, just like Twitter, Twitter allows people, anti-vaxxers, fascists, all these conspiracy theorists, to pay Twitter so they can have their tweets boosted in the algorithm and fed to everyone and be at the top of the replies to any tweets, right? If you've been on Twitter for any amount of time before Elon Musk bought it, you can now say that the stuff you see there is completely unhinged. And if you even report stuff that is like grossly racist, it will never get taken down. And he's talking about how censorship plays Facebook well, and Twitter isn't censored, so therefore, I don't know, misinformation isn't absolutely rampant. How many doctors do you see verified on Twitter spreading anti-vax misinformation 24/7? It's literally like every single verified doctor account at this point. So there's just like loads of more coping tweets. I'm not going to read through all of them for you, but you get the gist. Elon Musk wasn't happy. Obviously spam liking and spam commenting under any tweet that talked about Twitter being better or Mark Zuckerberg being better or everyone deleting their Instagrams and stuff like that, because that really happened. But before we go any further and talk about, like, of course, Elon Musk being on the far right and stuff, I just wanted to contrast Elon Musk's Twitter profile to the head of Instagram. Like, I know nothing about this guy, right? He could be a bad dude or whatever. I literally know nothing about him. But I just think the public presence between the guy running the new Twitter clone versus the guy running Twitter right now is really funny. So Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, just like tweets really normal stuff. I'm really into John Cena's good friends vibes. John Cena writing, life can be a tough game. Some days you may wake up feeling like you're lost. Keep in mind, as long as you wake up, you're still in the game. Like, really, like, basic stuff. Not controversial. Isn't that a nice change? Talking about Silverstone and Lewis Hamilton. After the most insane week I've had at work in many years, I'm going to call it and pass out. You are all amazing, and I'm just psyched you're here and grateful to the lean and mean Freds team. The first weekend with Freds is going to be really interesting. Plus, it's Silverstone to boot night. So if you just go on his Freds thing, it's just really basic corporate CEO talk, right? And Adam might genuinely just be like a nice, wholesome Keanu type guy. But it's just so funny to compare that to someone like Elon Musk. And I do get, like, Zuckerberg is his boss probably and the board or whatever. So he isn't like the dictator of Threads and Instagram, just like Elon Musk is the dictator of Twitter. But even if you go on Zuckerberg's feed, it's fairly, like, not controversial at all. Which, again, I hate all these rich people. But at the same time, I don't really want to see them promoting white nationalist conspiracy theories all the time, because that's really bad for the world. The richest, most influential people not only destroying our planet for profit behind closed doors, literally indoctrinating people into like a fascist ideology like Elon Musk seems to be doing. And on that note, let's go back to Elon Musk. So, obviously Tucker Carlson's show is exclusive to Twitter right now, but Tucker Carlson is a guy who's basically promoted every single, like, fascist conspiracy theory out there during his long time on Fox News, right? And he's trying to kind of like rebrand himself as like anti-establishment, as like anti-war in the Ukraine, all stuff like that. There's a few people like this, you know. Russell Brand has completely gone off the deep end. He's basically the same in this regard, and he actually interviewed Tucker Carlson last week too. But again, Tucker Carlson interviewed Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, who has been in the news for so much terrible stuff. And I've seen idiot centrists like say, oh, you know, he's innocent until he's in a jail cell and convicted and stuff like that. But even if we ignore all that stuff in Romania, let's just ignore it, pretend it didn't exist. This guy has gone on the record talking about grooming a 16-year-old girl. And that's like a viral TikTok, right? He has said so many terrible things, right? And then you have all the criminal charges as well about doing terrible things. So now you have Elon Musk getting one of the old, most popular Fox News hosts, extremely racist guy, to interview Andrew Tate, and Elon Musk promotes it. Interesting interview with Cobra Tate. And of course, why is Elon Musk promoting that? Because Tucker Carlson's show is pretty much dying. He's trying to make it seem more credible as a place to host like independent news. Don't go to Rumble. Don't go to, you know, whatever. Go for Twitter. You know, look at this. Look how successful it can be. But he's also saying a lot of stuff about this interview. So Sean Maguire saying, when someone tells me they hate Tucker Carlson or Andrew Tate, I ask them, when was the last time you watched a 10-minute segment with them? The answer is basically always never. If you hate either of these men, you should watch this. Elon Musk saying, the 10-minute test is a good one. Someone else quoting the interview saying, if you are naive enough to believe that there are good guys and bad guys in war, and it's as simple as good and bad, you need to do a little investigation. Tucker Carlson saying, that's the truest thing. Anyone who doesn't understand that should shut the F up. Elon Musk saying, there are no angels in war. And on like the Tucker Carlson angle as well, Tucker Carlson talking about January 6th to Russell Brand, saying the more time has passed, now it's been 2.5 years, it becomes really obvious that the core claims made about Jan 6th were lies. It was not an insurrection, Elon Musk tweeting. interesting, like he always does. Another one posted by another far-right account, Tucker Carlson says, the chief of police at the Capitol told him that the crowd on Jan 6 was filled with feds. Elon Musk writing, would be interesting to hear from the chief of police. Again, another far-right guy, Chris Rufo, saying the transgender movement has conquered American life. In a new short film, I explain how the movement gained power and connected the dots between its key intellectuals, billionaire benefactor, and large-scale medical experiments in a Detroit ghetto. This is the transgender empire. This is the guy who started the fear-mongering about critical race theory. Elon Musk says disturbing. Same guy who's acting like Facebook is the heart of misinformation on social media, saying that Twitter doesn't do that. So yeah, that is just the head of Twitter, just constantly responding to and promoting far-right conspiracy theories. Like, literally all day. That's all he does. Apart from promoting SpaceX and himself, he just promotes fascism all day. Like, that is what Twitter has essentially become. It's even, like, worse than things like 4chan in many ways. It's obviously completely dominated by the far-right because they pay for it. And because Elon Musk promotes them, right? It's not organic at all. And on that note, let's talk about the sort of stuff you can find on Twitter. So there's a guy called Elijah Schaffer, who I believed was kicked off, was it The Blaze or something else, for sexually harassing one of his colleagues. And he's been running some interesting polls recently. One of them he deleted, but it was like, would you rather have your son be in the KKK or be in the LGBTQ? After 65,000 votes, 74.8% said they would rather their son be in the KKK. Verified account, tweeting this poll, anyone can vote. So now on Twitter, 75% of people would rather have a son in the KKK than them be gay or something, right? Lovely. That's what Twitter is now. I'm not joking. That is essentially what Twitter is. But don't worry. This guy, verified guy with 600,000 followers, tweeted something else. Do you believe Jews disproportionately control the world institutions, banks, and are waging war on white Western society? This is obviously a conspiracy theory straight out of fascist Germany, right? Judeo-Bolshevism, cultural Marxism, Jews are running the world, goal of destroying Western culture. Even someone like Joseph Goebbels used to talk about this in his speeches. And on Elon Musk's Twitter, you have 94,000 votes, final results. Yes, 100%, gets 50% of the votes. And yes, it's complicated, gets 22%, meaning 72% of people who voted on this poll believe that Jews disproportionately control the world institutions, banks, and are waging war on white Western society. Literally like open Nazism on Twitter from this guy. And it's getting voted on. But here's the thing as well. Don't worry. People aren't afraid to even say this with a verified account, maybe linked to their phone number and linked to their bank account. Look at some of the comments on this as well. It's not just people voting feeling like, oh, no one can see me. I'll get a sneaky vote in about my anti-Semitism. They'll proudly say it with a verified tick to their name. But again, people with verified accounts, yes. But it doesn't mean we should push to hate the Jewish race as a whole. I believe the Jews are neutrally communistic because their religion teaches them that God has a relationship with their entire nation. They practice religious cultural nepotism on a global scale and consistently engage in monopolistic activities. Again, a guy seemingly having his real name and a verified tick, which links to his bank account, talking about how, like, you know, most Jews are communists, basically. I'm finding it hard to even find words to describe how masked off all these people have gone on Elon Musk's Twitter. Literally, it is the biggest meeting spot for actual fascists, right? You can just tweet that, feel like there's no consequences. Just put your real name, put your bank account. Just tweet about Jews running the world and trying to destroy white Western society. They behave poorly because they are in rebellion against Messiah, Jesus Christ. Europe spread Christianity around the world. Of course there is animosity there. Just the elite Jews. Most American Jews are at least among the most rich people group in America. Another guy posting like a literal Hitler speech saying the international clique. Again, verified tick. This guy has linked his bank account to this and he's posting that. Wouldn't be the first time. We all remember the Bolshevik communist era, and that was majority Jewish leadership and accounted for over 100 million deaths of white Christians. Again, fascist, conspiracy theory. According to Elon Musk's Twitter and verified accounts, they killed 100 million white Christians, the Bolsheviks did, who were all Jewish, by the way, apparently. So yeah, absolutely unfiltered anti-Semitism here. And this is common across Twitter. YouTube, I thought, was bad because I've always got like a ton of like right-wing abuse on Twitter, including anti-Semitism, because obviously a lot of these people just feel like anyone who is like, they don't like is a Jewish person. So I've had a ton of anti-Semitism directed at me because I'm like a communist and stuff, but also like loads of other garbage. But I was like, that's anonymous people on YouTube. Like, they are literally making bot accounts so they can send me this stuff anonymously. But now on Elon Musk's Twitter, he's created a culture which is so sympathetic to this worldview. You have people with their actual profile pictures, like I said, verified accounts which they pay for from their bank accounts, and they're just saying like, yes, I'm a fascist. I believe the most racist things ever. And it's just wild to me. They don't think there's any like repercussions to this. But I guess on the social media platform, at least in real life, I guess someone could message their workplace and say like, do you see what your employee is posting? But on social media, they're not going to get banned. Like, I've reported a lot of people just to test it because I know they're not going to do anything. And I've seen how much extremism I can report and see if anything gets done about it. Nothing ever gets done about it. Like, I'm serious. It feels like there is no moderation on Twitter anymore. It's basically like if Elon Musk finds out about a communist a lot of right-wing accounts don't like, he'll ban them. But if you just, I don't know, post Hitler speeches about the Jews and say you agree with them under a poll which says Jews control the world, that's fine. Do that. Of course, to me, this is all like super depressing because a lot of you on the left, we're anticipating this getting worse because of climate change. And I've literally been saying this for like 10 years at this point, that the refugee crisis that is coming to Europe from like Africa, Middle East, other places like that is going to be so massive, and European countries don't even want to face that reality. What's going to happen, like what happened in Greece recently, is just like crazy xenophobic policies which are going to embolden the far right, talking about like protecting their country and stuff. Western countries are not going to deal with the refugee crisis in a humane way. They're just going to use it in propaganda and deal with it in a really harsh way and use it to get to power. And we've already seen this across Europe anyway, like with Italy. It's going to happen in Spain as well, depressingly. Like, the Vox party are probably going to become the second biggest party, and they're using the refugee stuff as part of their propaganda. And as a precursor to that, a little prelude as well, we're getting the majority used American Twitter also doing this too, also going massively far right, and who knows what will happen in the election as well. It's just a disgusting taste in what is actually going to become far more common across the Western world. Sorry to be so depressing about that, but it's also just, like I said, Twitter used to be a good source for information. Now it's this. It's disgusting. And if it goes bankrupt and ceases to exist, it would probably be better for the world at this point. But then the alternative in our capitalist hellscape is Mark Zuckerberg owning all your social media. So again, two terrible options. I'd probably say at the moment that, Elon Musk's is worse, but probably in the grand scheme of things, maybe Zuckerberg owning everything is worse. I don't even know at this point. His brain has just been melted by being the owner of Twitter, right? Originally, I believe he started to do this like pro-right-wing thing as a grift. Like, he knew more liberal people no longer liked him when he started revealing more of his personality, so he went hardcore right. And as they went more right, he went more right, and now that's all that surrounds him. That's all he reads all day, right? He reads this garbage, and I now believe, and I didn't believe this before, but I now fully believe it, he actually is a fascist, right? And you can say, well, aren't all billionaires like that? Yeah, all billionaires are like these weird libertarians, authoritarians, all that stuff. But Elon Musk actually like is a fascist. And that's what he's allowed Twitter to become as well. Literally like the biggest fascist platform on the internet, which is so rife with all this stuff. Like I said, people don't even feel the need to hide their face anymore. They don't feel the need to put on masks and go on obscure forums away from the eyes of like the government and stuff like that. Now they literally link their bank accounts to accounts with their face and then full name, saying the most crazy fascist shit ever. And if that isn't good enough evidence of what Elon Musk has made Twitter into, I don't know what is better evidence. And also Jack Dorsey, fucking idiot as well, still thinking that Elon Musk is doing a good job here. In the early days of the internet, that's what these tech geniuses all envisioned social media being. Having like the richest guy on earth amplify right-wing conspiracy theories. It's just like irredeemable at this point. And people will say to me like, why am I still on Twitter? So I'm still on Twitter because we still have this left-wing bubble, right? We still have this left-wing bubble, and I still think it can be effective in helping reach out to people and communicate. I believe the steps that Elon has taken has obviously neutered that. And I think I looked at my own account and it is partly shadow banned as well. And a lot of leftists have been saying this recently too. So it's clear he's taken steps to crack down on the actual left. So again, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Blue Sky, Threads. I'm happy to move despite how long it took me to grow like a big following on Twitter and stuff. So it's sad to leave that behind. But at the same time, it's just clear this platform is increasingly just trying to push left-wing people out and promote the far right, whether that be British far right, which is thriving thanks to this verification system, anti-vaxxers, whether it be the American far right, or people who host polls about Jews controlling the world. They're all pretty much the same, to be honest, but they do have their different varieties. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and if you made it this far, thank you for watching.